Donald Trump, Muriel Bowser, and others who he has is going after in real time. And so this is sort of commonplace right about now to be attacking and assaulting and going in on black women. But it happened to Shirley Sherrod back in the Obama era. While black women have always been targeted and always fought back, I'm not naive about that. But politically, she was sort of an outlier all those years ago during the Obama era. And so I'm glad I got it for the hour, and I got a lot of questions about her fight back and being thrown under the bus by Democrats. Eventually, of course, working to find some justice. And most importantly, she's continuing her work. She's been doing this kind of work for years, fighting for America's small farmers. We'll get to that part of her work and the Sherrod Institute and all the great stuff that they're doing. But I want to just take a moment here, since I got the rest of the hour, to have her remind us of what happened during the Obama era. With that, Shirley Sherrod, the mic is yours. Take me back a few years and tell me what happened.
Well, I was appointed rather to a position that no Black person had held up until then, and that was Georgia State Director for Rural Development. That's at USDA. And I was placed in an interesting situation because in 1996, the USDA reorganized. So the programs under rural development were actually part of Farmers Home Administration, but they separated the programs and allowed staff to choose which part of the agency they would work with going forward, whether it would be staying with farmer programs or going to rural development. So many of the individuals working with me in the state office came from Farmers Home Administration. And these are people I had to deal with through the years in my fight for justice for Black farmers. And all of a sudden, I'm there as as their leader for the agency. It was interesting. So, I met with them and I said to them, I wasn't there to settle any scores. And I said, if I don't do but two things while I'm here, these two things I want to do. And that was to make sure that people in the state of Georgia understood the programs of this agency and that everyone would understand that they had equal access. So I was placed somewhat in a hostile situation anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but I've all that wasn't something new for me. It was something I've been used to. It was something I felt I knew how to deal with. And I just proceeded to start doing my work. That was getting those programs out into the rural areas of Georgia, especially where they were needed, and also to get stimulus money out to businesses that needed them in the state of Georgia. So it wasn't an easy thing to do, but I was going about my work and feeling good about the fact that I had this opportunity to really help make a difference in rural Georgia.
Mm-hmm. So you were going about your work, and then what happened?
Well, I was asked to speak to a group called, being the first Black person in the position, I got requests all the time to come and speak. I was also out there with my staff because I told them we were going to do outreach, and I would go to a lot of those meetings all over the state. But in this case, the group out of Coffee County, Georgia, and you might remember Coffee County, Georgia, because the my pillar guy went there and took some things from the voting machines and so forth in later years. This is the same Coffee County, Georgia, that ended up causing me to be targeted. But at
Mm-hmm.
any rate, they were asking me to come and speak at an NAACP banquet for that county.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was saying no, but then, and I was saying no because it was the anniversary date of my father's funeral, and normally I was dealing with my sisters and brother during that time, discussing my father
Yeah.
and what his death meant to all of us. But I changed and said, okay, I'll come. Um, and it was during that speech that I recounted the things that I had been through. My father's death, where the all white grand jury refused to indict the killer, even though there were witnesses, they were all Black. My work in the civil rights movement, the dangerous situations I had been in. And then my point was, and I did say, um, my point was, um, if I can set all of that aside and try to work with anyone, then we should all try to work to, look at working together.
Hmm.
Um, so um, my speech, and that there was the white mayor was in the meeting. She had to leave a little early, and there were a couple other white people there. I talked about a white farmer who came to me for help. And up until I dealt with him, it was about 1986 when he initially came to me for help to save his farm. I really thought white people actually got all of the services they needed from the agency. And it was while working with him that I realized, if you're not connected, if you're not part of the in crowd or the haves, then whether you were white or Black, in some cases, you could be treated just like a Black person. So I recounted how I eventually got to the point where I could help save his farm. Um, Breitbart, someone, and I'm sure it was someone from my staff. I have no idea of knowing who it was, but
Hmm.
I knew that I was being taped. I knew that they were showing the speech on the local television station because someone called the office the next week and said, I really enjoyed the speech. And I knew that that individual was not at the meeting. So I said, how did you see it? And she said, oh, they're replaying it on the television station.
Hmm.
So, so I knew it was being played. Um, I was actually, so that was in March. That was March 27th. In June, I'm sitting in a meeting, actually July. I was sitting in a meeting in Atlanta with 5 other state directors from southern states. And we were dealing with 1890 land grant institutions.
Hmm.
And I opened my BlackBerry and there are all of these hate messages for me
Hmm.
saying, you refuse to help a white farmer and just saying all kind of stuff. And I knew this could be explosive. So I actually sat there in the meeting and said, oh, that's not what my message was. And I actually told one of them responding what my message was. And I said, you should get the tape and listen to it. And then when we had a break, I actually called to DC, to the Department of Ag, and they told me, I was told, we'll call you at 4 o'clock. This was a Friday.
Hmm.
Um, and the meeting ended, and I was driving home from Atlanta. But at 4 o'clock, I pulled off the road to a service station to wait on this call. And I waited about a half an hour. The call never came. Went on home for the weekend. And on Monday morning, I was going to another part of the state. Actually, it's where the Kia plant is located, where I had about 13 members of the staff traveling there too for a meeting because that city wanted to thank rural development for for the role we played, that the agency played in helping to get additional sewer capacity and other things for the plant to locate there.
Right.
So I'm in this meeting, and we were supposed to go and tour the plant, but my secretary called me, and she's in tears with all of the hate calls coming into the state office. So I told the group to go on the tour. I called the DC they said they would call me. So I sat there like 2 hours waiting on this call from Washington, and it didn't come. The staff returned. So I told them I needed to explain to them what was happening. Um, just as I finished that, I got the call from Washington. So I stepped out of the room, and Cheryl Cook was her name. She informed me that I had been placed on administrative leave.
Mm.
I told her, you know, not only did I help that farmer save his farm, but we became really good friends. So that message that was out there was not the message that I was trying to convey to everyone. So so I said, what do I do? She said, go home and have a good rest. Now, if you know what was happening, I was being fired at that moment, but it didn't, that's not what she said.
Sure.
So I went back into the room and I told the staff that I had been placed on administrative leave. Now, this is the staff, I had been working with them about 11 months at that point. Like I said, these were individuals for the most part who came over from farmer programs.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them individuals I had really had some rounds with through the years. But they said to me, you should allow one of us to drive you back. I had a three and a half hour ride from where I was to the state office. And I said, no, I can drive.
Hold that thought 1 second. Shirley, hold that second thought 1 second for me. Let me ask you a quick question. I got 30 seconds. Answer this question, and when we come forward, we'll continue the story. Very quickly in 30 seconds. What was the line? What is it that you said that they were misinterpreting that caused all this trauma?
Well, he cut and spliced it to make it appear that I told the story from 24 years, earlier.
Right.
But he cut and spliced it to make it appear that as a government official, as an appointee of the Obama administration, I refuse to help a white farmer.
There's the line I'm looking for. Now, when we come forward, we'll continue the story about what happens, and we'll work our way toward how, to my mind, again, the Democrats and the Obama administration sacrificed Shirley Sherrod, threw under the bus, and now you look at Donald Trump just going in on black women every day, in every way, everywhere. You're listening to Shirley Sherrod on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
I'm Timmy Eswick with BIN News Now. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James at a rally for New York City Democratic mayoral nominee Zohran Mamdani. Now, at that rally, she gave a fiery speech. It's the first time we've heard from her since her indictment. She didn't mention President Trump by name, but you kind of got a feeling of what she was talking about.
I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
Well, homecoming events have been dangerous this season. First, 2 separate shootings in Mississippi where 8 people died, including a pregnant woman during homecoming events. Now, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry requesting state troopers be on campus for the next LSU game after an on-campus shooting during their homecoming game. Some good news if you're filling up at the pump. Summer to winter grade fuel is changing out, and Gas Buddy says the average price nationwide is down to $3.02. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers got a marvelous pitching performance from Blake Snell in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series and then survived a dramatic ninth inning to hold on for a 2-1 win over Milwaukee. Snell was on the mound for 8 shutout innings. He had 10 strikeouts, allowed only 1 hit, and picked off a base runner. Snell is 3-0 in the postseason with a 0.86 earned run average. Reliever Blake Trenton struck out Bryce Terrain to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the ninth. Game 2 is tonight in Milwaukee. First pitch at 5 o'clock. The largest attendance over the weekend for an HBCU football game was 44,000. That was the turnout for Jackson State's homecoming game. Jackson State, ranked number 13 in this week's NCAA Division I AA poll, defeated Alabama State 38-34. Next game for Jackson State is Saturday, October 25th in Las Vegas against Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-259-9922. 800-259-9922. That's 800-259-9922.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year and their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
my Smiley gang, D'Angelo on Tavis Smiley. In case you have not heard, at this hour, D'Angelo has passed away at the age of 51 from very quiet but protracted battle with pancreatic cancer. We started today's program playing a clip of my conversation, one of my conversations with D'Angelo a few years ago. Turns out to be his last in-depth conversation. We're going to reprise the entirety of that dialogue tomorrow at the top of our show. But D'Angelo, tragically, sadly, far too early, has passed away at the age of 51 after a battle with pancreatic cancer. So our thoughts and prayers with his family. As I mentioned earlier, you know that he and Angie Stone had a baby together, and that child lost his mother, Angie Stone, in that tragic bus accident, that tragic accident on the highway in Georgia. Speaking of Georgia, that's where Shirley Sherrod is. Angie Stone passed away some months ago, and the child lost his mother, and now he has lost his father. D'Angelo, again, dead at the age of 51. So again, our first hour tomorrow, our tribute, an amazing conversation I had with D'Angelo. Shirley Sherrod is our guest, a former high-ranking Obama administration official who was targeted by the far right, thrown under the bus, to my mind, again, by Democrats and the Obama White House. That's my read of it. We'll let her finish telling her story, but I invited her on because we're in this moment right now where, as we already established in this conversation, in case you've just tuned in, that Donald Trump, as you well know, is going after black women everywhere. It's become sport, I think, for Donald Trump. It's sport now for him to be targeting and attacking black women. And there's a long list of them that I ran earlier. You know the list. I ain't going to do that again. But Shirley Sherrod got some of this back in the Obama era. So the far right didn't just start attacking black women in the era of Donald Trump. They were doing it even in the Obama era. And Shirley Sherrod was one of the casualties of that attack. She's gone on to continue doing great work. We'll get to that a little bit later in this conversation, but my time is getting away from me, Shirley Sherrod. So the White House, Washington rather, has called you and said to you that you were on administrative leave. You asked, what should I do? They said, go home and take a rest. You're on your way home now, but you and I both know while they were telling you were on administrative leave, they were laying the groundwork for your firing. Pick up the story there, Shirley Sherrod.
Yeah, so actually the staff wanted to get in a circle of prayer before I left, and we did that. But I was maybe 45 minutes into the trip. I had a 3.5-hour drive to get back to the office to turn the car in. Cheryl Cook called, where are you now? I said, this is a 3.5-hour drive. And I said, not only did I help that farmer save his farm, he has his farm today because of me, but we became good friends. They didn't want to hear anything I was saying in that regard. I was driving through Atlanta when they told me the White House wanted me to resign. And, you know, I should have been thinking more of myself, but I was thinking of what effect this was going to have on the Obama administration. I said, I'll do it. I was 30 miles from Athens when they called and said, we want you to pull to the side of the road and use your BlackBerry to submit your letter of resignation.
Stop. Hey, Shirley Sherrod, stop. They couldn't wait till you got home. The Obama administration, the Obama White House asked you to pull over, use your BlackBerry, and type a resignation on the side of the highway?
That's exactly what they did. They wanted to be able to tell Sean Hannity and the others that I was no longer a part of the agency. So I pulled to the side of the road. I told her before hanging up, I said, I'll do it, but you haven't heard the last from me. So I pulled to the side of the road and typed out a letter of resignation and sent it to them. And then I drove on to Athens. I turned in that car, got my car, went by the apartment, got a few things, went by my secretary's house and gave her everything I thought they would want from me. Now, I think they probably thought I would go to the office, but, you know, I've been out there a lot of years and I know the traps. So I didn't attempt to go by the office at all. And I then had a 4-hour drive to go from where I was at Athens, Georgia, to my home in Albany, Georgia.
Right.
Once I arrived home, I had a call. You lost your job, didn't you? You know, so they had gotten my phone number. And the next morning, every news agency there was, even the big satellite truck, was in my yard.
I'm sure.
And everybody wanted an interview. And I had decided if I had to tell one person at a time the truth, if I would be willing to talk to anyone who wanted to hear the truth.
Yeah.
So there was a guy from CNN. I think his name was Tony Harris.
Yep, I know Tony. Yep, that's it.
He
I know
wanted
Tony.
to do an interview.
Sure.
So I was on the air talking to him, explaining what happened, when he stopped me and said, "We have someone here." So I stopped talking to listen, and the next voice I heard was the wife of the white farmer. Their son, their daughter-in-law, saw me, told her husband to look. He said, "Oh, that's my mama and daddy's friend." So he rushed to their house and they started calling CNN while I was on the air to tell the world what I had done to help them, that they would not have their farm if it had not been for me. Now, you would think that should have been the end of it, but USDA stuck to their guns. They were not willing to accept that I didn't, and they knew, and this is what got me. In the agency, that part of the agency would never have been involved with helping a farmer save his farm. And they knew that.
Yeah.
But nobody stepped up. Finally, there was so much, the white farmer, they tried in every way they could to get him to change, but they knew his brother had lost his farm. His brother didn't come to me for help.
Right.
But he had his farm. And to the day he died, he stuck to his guns about what I had done to help them. So they could not change him.
Yeah.
And finally, the Secretary of Ag went on the air. So this all started on Monday. He went on the air on Wednesday to say he was wrong. And so then I'm at CNN doing all of these interviews and still nothing from the president.
Hold that thought, Shirley. Hold that thought. So the Secretary of Agriculture has finally stepped up and admitted they made a mistake being pushed into this action by the far right, who was really very wrong. The far right was wrong. Secretary of Ag eventually admits this, but she still ain't heard nothing from her black president. Pick the story up there when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. That's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate, with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless, for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
BET and PBS, the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and NPR, the cover of Jet and the cover of Time. #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 20 honorary doctorate degrees, a dozen NAACP Image Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. From talk shows to talk radio, nobody's ever done it better. You like that? This is Tavis Smiley.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Shirley Sherrod. My time, Shirley, is getting tight on me. So the Secretary of Agriculture goes on CNN, acknowledges that they were wrong. But to your point, at this point in the story, you had not yet heard from Barack Obama. What happens next?
Yeah, so I of course I left CNN in Atlanta and went to CNN in New York.
Sure.
And The View was one of the programs I went on.
Sure.
So during that program, Whoopi Goldberg asked me if I had heard from the president. By now it's Thursday. And I said no. So she had a few choice things to say about it.
I remember that. Yes.
And when I left there, I noticed I had a call from John Lewis. After we talked, I looked and all of a sudden I had a text message from the White House.
Yeah.
Saying that the president wanted to have a conversation with me. And this was only after Whoopi Goldberg had called him out.
Sure.
So I called the number and arranged to talk to him. So he started out, "Oh, you're a hard person to find." Well, I had been with CNN since Tuesday and got all these interviews from CNN.
But the president of the United States said you hard to catch up to.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Obama. Okay,
So,
yeah.
He said, "All those issues you have been putting out there all week, I'm well aware of them." And I said, "You don't understand them the way I do." "Oh, yes, I do. You should read my book." And I had read his book. I said, but I still held to the fact that he doesn't understand those issues the same way I do. So we were going back and forth like that.
Yeah.
And finally, I said, you should come to Southwest Georgia. And when you come, bring your wife. He said he had been talking to Sanford Bishop and probably would, but he didn't come.
Yeah.
And he just mentioned that the individual who arranged the call could come into his office at any time. And if I needed to talk with him, I could contact him.
But did he ever apologize on behalf of his administration though?
Here was my standard answer back then.
Right.
I said to reporters, by the mere fact that he made the call to me, I took it as an apology, but he didn't ever really apologize. He did tell me they would offer a new job, a job that I knew I wouldn't take.
Yeah. So he never apologized. That's my answer. He did not. I love Shirley's spirit. You can take the phone call as that's an apology, but that's not a real apology. And I can say it whether she does or not. And I love her dearly. And Whoopi Goldberg, I recall that Whoopi had some choice words at the time. So did the rest of us. I was on Tom Joyner and doing my TV show at the same time. And I had some choice words, and Shirley got on my list, and we ended up having a conversation as well back then. But again, you hear the ways in which she was maltreated then. This is a Democratic administration, a black president who didn't want to back up, didn't want to apologize, wanted to offer her another job, not offer her the job back, that they had fired her from, but offer her something else, some consolation prize. See, that kind of nonsense makes me sick to my stomach. So when you look at what Trump is doing to black women now, just understand this ain't the first round of this nonsense. Shirley Sherrod got some way back then, and now it's at a fever pitch with Donald Trump going after women all across the board in a variety of spaces. That's what happens when you let stuff like that. When people get away with that kind of nonsense in a Democratic administration, you can expect that Donald Trump and others will push it to the limit. I digress on that for now. In our remaining moments with Shirley Sherrod, life didn't end there. She's gone on to do some great work. We'll talk about the Sherrod Institute when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-373-7519. That's 800-373-7519.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
Shirley Sherrod, I got about 3 minutes left for you. I want to ask you two questions in a tight 3 minutes. Number one, say a quick word about the Sherrod Institute, please.
Yes. So this is how, we have three organizations. The Southwest Georgia Project that started during the Civil Rights era. My husband was one of the founding members of SNCC.
Yep.
New Communities, we organized in 1969, became the first community land trust in the country. My understanding is there are nearly 300 now. And then the Charles Sherrod Community Development Corporation. So we operate those three organizations as the Sherrod Institute. We had 6,000 acres of land taken from us. In 1985, we filed a claim in the Pickford case, the Black Farmers lawsuit. After a 10-year fight, we finally got justice, receiving about $12 million. We bought more land that turned out to be It was a slave plantation.
Wow.
Back in the 1800s. We are taking that now to have as a place for healing, but also a place for training, lots of training.
Yes.
So we put in demonstrations for farmers, showing them what they can do on a smaller acreage. They can't compete with the cotton, corn, and peanuts with a small acreage. So you'll find us growing rice sustainably. Now, normally you have to flood it in a pond or lake or something. We're growing it on dry land using some irrigation.
Yeah.
We have truffles. We have muscadine grapes. We just planted grapes for wine making. We have a medicinal garden where we target herbs that men need for their health, herbs that women need for their health. We have bees. We also have 200 acres of pecan trees, but we have a smaller plot because the first pecan tree was propagated by a slave by the name of Antoine. It was called the Centennial. And we actually have cuttings from the Centennials. And we use that as we do tours with young people, to help them understand we can eat a pecan today because of Antoine. So we do lots of training. We do lots of history. It's just a place where I tell people you can come through those gates.
Yeah.
And you will not leave the same.
No, I can see that. I can see that, and I can hear that. Shirley Sherrod has gone on to do, not gone on, has continued. The Obama administration trying to block her, notwithstanding, she has gone on. The apology is still outstanding. She's gone on to do great work, and I celebrate that. I got a quick 10 seconds here. What's your advice to all these black women being attacked in this era by Donald Trump? You've been through it.
Yeah. You can't give up.
Yeah.
That's one thing you cannot do.
Yeah.
We've always had to fight. So we just continue the fight as we help younger women and others understand what we are up against, and the fact that we really do need to work together.
Love me some Shirley Sherrod. Loved her then, love her now. This work and witness continues unabated. Never mind what they tried to do. Shirley Sherrod, good to have you on the program. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Good to have you on. More of Tavis, Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James at a rally for New York City Democratic mayoral nominee Zohran Mamdani. Now, at that rally, she gave a fiery speech. It's the first time we've heard from her since her indictment. She didn't mention President Trump by name, but you kind of got a feeling of what she was talking about.
I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
Well, homecoming events have been dangerous this season. First, 2 separate shootings in Mississippi where 8 people died, including a pregnant woman during homecoming events. Now, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry requesting state troopers be on campus for the next LSU game after an on-campus shooting during their homecoming game. Some good news if you're filling up at the pump. Summer to winter grade fuel is changing out, and Gas Buddy says the average price nationwide is down to $3.02. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers got a marvelous pitching performance from Blake Snell in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, and then survived a dramatic 9th inning to hold on for a 2-1 win over Milwaukee. Snell was on the mound for 8 shutout innings. He had 10 strikeouts, allowed only 1 hit, and picked off a base runner. Snell is 3-0 in the postseason with a 0.86 earned run average. Reliever Blake Trenton struck out Bryce Terrain to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 9th. Game 2 is tonight in Milwaukee. First pitch at 5 o'clock. The largest attendance over the weekend for an HBCU football game was 44,000. That was the turnout for Jackson State's homecoming game. Jackson State, ranked number 13 in this week's NCAA Division I AA poll, defeated Alabama State 38-34. Next game for Jackson State is Saturday, October 25th in Las Vegas against Grambling. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there. I hate stepping on D'Angelo. He sounds so good. I hate stepping on that brother. In case you've not heard the news by now, we led the program 2 hours ago with this news that D'Angelo has passed away at the age of 51 after a protracted but rather quiet private battle against pancreatic cancer. He passed away today in New York at, I believe, Sloan Kettering Hospital. And I didn't realize it, but it turns out that I had the last in-depth conversation with D'Angelo. 2 conversations, in fact, 2 days back-to-back. And we are going to, in our first hour tomorrow on this program, reprise some of the best of that conversation with D'Angelo. I started today's program with a clip of that dialogue, and I see your responses already. So tomorrow, I'm going to give you more of that amazing conversation, which turns out to be his last in-depth with D'Angelo. A pretty reclusive guy, right? Didn't talk a lot. And so I feel even more honored now that he spent a couple of days with me for this conversation. And I'll bring you some of the best of that tomorrow at the top of our show. But D'Angelo has passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer at the young age of 51. And so here we are, the final hour of our program today with two conversations as promised. On the B side of this hour, Tony Award nominated actor Charles Brown joins us to talk about the new Broadway supergroup, the Doo-Wop Project. We'll do that on the backside of this hour. But we start this hour marking 50 years since the controversial end of America's first paramedic program, as portrayed in the Emmy-winning series The Pit. Please be joined by two amazing guests, Chief Amira Gilchrist, Pittsburgh's current EMS chief, and John Moon, a former assistant EMS chief and EMT for the Freedom House Ambulance Service. Chief, good to have you on. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
If I complained, I'd be an ingrate, even with the bad news, sad news about D'Angelo, dear brother. But I'm doing all right. John Moon, how are you today, sir?
Great. How's everything with you?
Hanging in. Let me start by just getting a backstory. And I don't know who prefers to do it, John or Chief Gilchrist. Give me the backstory of the Freedom House Ambulance Service.
Well, in order to get a clear version of the Freedom House story, you have to travel back in time to the early 60s. It was during the Civil Rights era. To a somewhat underserved, neglected community in Pittsburgh's Hill District in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
This community itself was more or less isolated from the political machine at that particular time. Housing were problems, jobs were problems, medical care was problems. And during that time, the federal government was funneling money throughout the country to try to offset the war on poverty. And Pittsburgh was one of the recipients. But born out of that was an organization located in the Hill District of Pittsburgh, which is an African-American community.
Oh, we all know it well, thanks to the great August Wilson. We know it well, thanks to August Wilson. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, it primarily, Freedom House organization was primarily designed for job training, job placement, voter registration. That was even a little mini food bank there to deliver food to the residents of this community.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the board of directors at that particular time, a gentleman by the name of Phil Hallen, who's just celebrated his 95th birthday this past Saturday.
Wow.
Came up with a vision. And his vision was, if this community can deliver food to the residents of this somewhat underserved community, why can't they deliver medical care? And one of the problems is the people in the community couldn't get back and forth to doctor's appointments and things of that nature. So Peter Saffer came up with an idea. He was an anesthesiologist at one of the local hospitals, that it wasn't how fast you got that person to the emergency room that determined the outcome, but what was being done for them before they got there. So Phil Hallen and Peter Saffer kind of merged their ideas together. And born out of that was the creation of Freedom House Ambulance Service, believe it or not. And Freedom House, when they approached Dr. Saffer, they had one request, that every member you train has to be Black.
Hold that thought, John Moon. Every member you train for the Freedom House Ambulance Service has to be Black. We're celebrating Freedom House Ambulance Service 50 years after the controversial end of that program. More of this story when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation. Your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at kbla1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community focused. So just go to kbla1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Fearless only. Have it your way. And if you won't, you can decide that if you have me, I can provide everything that you desire. And you get a feeling that I'm feeling. Won't you come closer to me, baby? Hey. Now you already got me right where you want me, baby. I just want you, man. How does it feel? How does it feel?
Everybody who loves D'Angelo loves this track, and you will never forget the video that accompanied the song. How does it feel? D'Angelo has passed away today at the age of 51, and we will lead the program tomorrow. In case you just tuned in and not heard the music, he passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer today in New York City, and we're going to offer a full hour tribute to him tomorrow at the top of this show. When I reprise what turns out to be his last in-depth conversation. We'll do that tomorrow, honoring the musical genius of D'Angelo tomorrow on this program. We continue our conversation now with Chief of Mary Gilchrist and John Moon talking about the Freedom House Ambulance Service, marking 50 years since the controversial end of America's first paramedic program. It happened in the Hill District in Pittsburgh. I was saying to John Moon a moment ago, we know the Hill District quite well. If you're an August Wilson fan, as I am, one of the great playwrights, certainly the greatest African-American playwright, August Wilson, those 10 plays all set in Pittsburgh. So August Wilson is the pride of Pittsburgh. We know the Hill District, thanks to August Wilson. And so that's the setting for the Freedom